Enjoy this upcoming baseball season because next year may not happen. You may have heard the rumors that there won't be a 2027 season. Or worse, maybe even longer than that. The average baseball enjoyer may not know the specifics of why this could happen. I am going to try and make this easily understandable and not confusing. MLB and the MLBPA have what is called a CBA, or a collective bargaining agreement, which is a fancy way of saying a contract between the players, the owners, and the league. The last time a collective bargaining agreement came into play was in 2021. After the COVID-shortened season, the previous CBA was terminated. The new deal took a while to negotiate, pushing the start of the 2022 season back a week. But it brought forward changes like the universal DH, advertising all over player uniforms, postseason expansion, and the draft lottery. Usually a bargaining agreement lasts for 5 years and then it gets renegotiated. This current CBA covers the 2022 to 2026 season, and it expires on midnight, December 1st. The big conversation piece for this year's agreement is going to be on a salary cap and a salary floor. The owners of teams that are considered small market or don't have lots of funding to buy really good players all the time want a salary cap. Teams like the Dodgers and the Yankees, who have a lot of money, get to stack their lineup with A-plus talent every single year. A great example was Shohei Ohtani and Yoshinobu Yamamoto. They both signed contracts the same year that had a combined salary of just over $1 billion. And just recently, the Dodgers bought contracts for Edwin Diaz and Kyle Tucker, with a combined salary of $309 million. And some teams don't even spend $300 million for the combined roster for a whole season. There are some owners that meet the criteria for being cheap. Is it a direct call out to them? Yeah, slightly. So that's the major issue. Millionaires fighting over money and what is fair. I know someone's gonna comment about something else going on, but hey, this is an entry-level video for people. Quit trying to make it so difficult. If you want to talk advanced stuff, go to the Patreon. Now that you know what all the fuss is about, you need to know who is representing which side. You have the MLB. They are working to preserve the game along with implementing changes every few years. Changes like the pitch clock, that stupid ghost runner and extra innings, and the new ABS system. They do not want a salary cap. They want cash cow teams to spend a lot of money so they can make even more money. You have the MLBPA. The Players Association represents the players' best interest. If you have a jersey with someone's name and number on it, a bobblehead, poster, one of those garden gnomes. Those were a big deal in 2012. Anything that has a player's likeness has to go through the MLBPA. They represent what is fair for the players in the collective bargaining agreement every 5 years. Players from the majors and minor leagues are on a committee. They discuss the issues before going to the Players Association every 5 years. Then you have the MLB Owners Committee. The committee was formed in 2023. Their focus areas include revenue sharing, payroll disparities, and a salary cap and floor. This committee is supposed to represent all of the owners' interest and discusses what is and is not fair amongst all the teams. You could make a strong argument that this committee was made specifically for the upcoming CBA. To help visualize this, you have the MLBPA on one side of the argument and the owners' committee on the other, and then right in the middle you have MLB, but they lean a little bit closer to the Players Association. Both of these lean to not having a salary cap. The players used to be represented by a guy named Tony Clark. You may have seen him back in 2020 or maybe 2022. He was the executive director until resigning this past February. The timing for him to resign wasn't the greatest, but he's dealing with a scandal and an ongoing investigation. This was all happening right before the Players Association was going to go to spring training facilities and tour, and then they'd start negotiating the next CBA. And then enter Bruce Mayer. He is the interim director now for the Players Association. He and the committee of major and minor league players will go into the end of the year representing the idea of no salary cap. There are two kinds of stoppages in Major League Baseball. You have a lockout and a strike. A lockout is when the owners disagree and have the players stop playing. A strike is when the players disagree and refuse to play. There have been 9 major stoppages in MLB history. All of these are a mix of player strikes and owner lockouts. 5 of the stoppages were player strikes, and 4 of the stoppages only affected spring training and not the regular season. The results of these stoppages are what introduced the idea of arbitration, free agency, a draft pick trade system for talent, and say it with me, a salary cap. The 1994 strike was one of the worst ones to happen. Shortly after the All-Star game that year, the players had went on strike. It would cancel the second half of the MLB season. What made it worse is that instead of working to make a new deal with the players, MLB went forward with trying to start a season in 1995 with a collection of pro baseball players that didn't really work out. The result hurt MLB even more, and that strike had lasted 232 days. Sometimes a stoppage does help both sides establish a new system that's fair for both parties involved. But the other side of this is you can see how careless both sides are when they feel that they hold all the power. They are both damaging the brand and the game when they can't come to the table and make a new deal in 8 months, and then it'll start affecting next season. Enjoy as much of the 2026 season as you can. The chances of the 2027 season being shortened or not even played looks very possible now. There's too many differing opinions, too many issues, and unfortunately season stoppages are the only way to get things to be fair for both sides every 5 years. If I was MLB, I would be worried about Banana Ball taking its place next year. They are a fan-first brand. Can MLB say the same? New videos last Friday of the month. I know this topic is a little bleak, but I am excited for the upcoming season. Happy opening day, and thank you for letting me be a part of your 2026 season.